Hi, let's wait for some more other people to join, and then we'll start in another 5, 6 minutes. So I think we can start. People will keep on joining. Good evening and welcome to the forum. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining us on today's webinar. So my name is Rishika and I'm the marketing specialist for DevLabs Alliance. Just to give you a little introduction about, so my screen is visible to all of you. Is it visible? You can raise your hand or send a like if it is not visible. Then you can type in the chat window. No, okay, just a moment. I'll share it again. Got it. I'll share it again. I think now it is visible, no?
Hi Rishika, I hope we'll get started, right?
Yeah. Hi, Afrin.
Yes, hi.
Yeah. So I'll just give a quick intro. I think my screen is not visible, so there is some problem with the screen. I'll just give a quick intro and then I'll hand it over to you. Yeah, so basically, my today's webinar is on Selenium with Python, where Mr. Afreen is going to present on the importance of Selenium in the IT industry and the rising demand of it in the market. Why there is so much hype around it, and uh, he will also present the practical demo of SDET with Python. So guys, you'll all will be on mute mode while this webinar, and you can, we'll unmute you for the question answer round at the end of this webinar. And you can, if you want to ask any query in between of the webinar, that can be asked through the chat window. Fine. So there is a discount which we are offering. I'm not able to share my screen. I don't know why. Maybe because of some network problem. So there is an instant discount which we are providing, 10% instant discount, and we are sharing the coupon code with all of you on the chat window. And you can, visit our website and apply that coupon code immediately, and that is valid till tomorrow. So we have already provided you a discounted price on our website, and for the webinar attendees, it is again 10% discount for the which is valid till tomorrow. So I'm sharing that coupon code with all of you on the chat window, and secondly, the link of our website as well. Also, guys, we have, we are going to issue the certificate of participation for the webinar participants. So that link also we provided on the chat window, and a free tutorial for you guys. So we'll, keep on updating these things on the chat window. Have a look at that. And I think Afrin, you can start now, and I'll keep on posting these things on the chat windows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rishika. Hello. Hello all. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Afreen. So let me give some brief about myself before sharing my screen. Uh, I have total 15 years of IT experience, and also currently I am working in one of the reputed organization, and I have a skill set. So I usually handle multiple projects on Selenium Python, Selenium Java, Selenium C Sharp. We have some other tools like Cypress and Playwright. Those all tools, right? So whatever the tools are available in the market, which so we have different projects in the organization which I am working on, and I have the skills on that. And I have like 10 years of training experience, both corporate as well as the B2C. I mean like business to customer. This is the brief about myself. So let me share my screen and just confirm me anybody can able to see my screen. Anyone please confirm. One can able to see my screen.
Yes, it is visible, Afrin.
Yep. Thank you. So, team, here first we are here to listen the demo of what is the importance of Selenium, and then before starting what is the importance of Selenium, we must understand that what is the path of our test engineers, where we can grow ourselves, because some of us don't know, some may know where we can see ourselves after 10 years, after 5 years from now, right? It is most important for everyone how to choose our career, how to build our career, right? So in a level 1, in level 1, being if you started as a fresher or entry level, you will be a, in if you are a tester, you will be a junior tester, and where what are the activities you are going to perform are like creating a manual test cases, executing the dem, and understanding the requirement, uh, logging the defects. Those all activities you are doing. Along with that, you are doing some part of script execution. Then next level will be, yes, software development in test. What is the difference between a tester, a normal tester, and the software development engineer in test? This is most important for us to understand, because nowadays you can see a we have different roles as a software tester and software development engineering test. A software tester, what is his responsible is to only perform the activities of QA related to manual stuff. Only manual stuff. But software development engineering test, the responsibilities and the roles which is he the he or she is going to perform is more than the software tester. The software tester, whatever the roles and responsibilities he is doing, that will be included in the software development engineering test role. Along with that, he is responsible to perform development of automation framework, development of any automation tools are required, and integration of any reporting system, development of scripting and CI/CD pipelines. All the stuffs like from manual testing to automation testing to CI/CD pipeline. These all activities are done by software development engineering test. So there is a huge demand in the market, current industry, in the current market, in the IT, huge demand for software development engineering test. So in level 1, if you don't know, you can start with your career as a software tester. Then in level 2, you can go for software development engineer in test. In the third level will be like senior software development engineer in test, SDET manager, we call as a test manager, or then senior SDET manager. This is the level of career path we can choose whenever we want to see ourselves from today to 5 years, 10 years. We can go as a director of a software development engineering test. If somebody has interest, because I have seen in the organization that in one of my team member currently which I used, I manage so many team members in a software development SDETs. So they choose some different path. If whatever they interest, somebody wants to own the product, right? They can become a PO. If you are SDET, you can go to any levels, because we SDETs have more functional knowledge, more technical knowledge on automation, more on development of framework development knowledge. If we have more technical knowledge and functionality, we can choose a career path as a PO, from PO to senior PO, PO manager, senior PO manager, and director. Or you can choose a career path as a Scrum Master, senior Scrum Master, manager of Scrum Master. This is the career path. SDET has so many career options to choose to grow from 5 years, 10 years, based on the skill set what we are going to increase. What are we doing? So we need to understand what are we doing as part of a manual testing, what are we doing as part of a SDET, right? As part of a manual testing, the procedure which we are going to follow are like whenever we get any requirement, so we'll be analyzing the requirement, we are preparing the test planning. In the test planning, what we are going to do, we are adding the resources, whatever the resources are required, the efforts required, environment required, the scope, out of scope, those all things we are analyzing based on the requirement. We are preparing a test plan. Then once we have a test plan, we will create the test cases or the test scenarios. We will identify all the negative, positive test cases, as well as will identify the test data in the third step. In the fourth step, what we are going to do, whenever our application is ready, then we are executing the test cases. We are executing the test cases. Then if we are verifying manually with our eyes that whether the application is developed as per the requirement or not, if it is following, we can mark it as pass. If it is not following, we can mark it as failed. So if it is failed, we need a defect, right? It is not matching our requirement, we are logging in the defect. Once we are logging the defect, we'll fix the defect, then we will re-verify that. This is the process we are going to do in manual testing. What is the process we are going to perform in automation testing as part as we are in SDET role, right? So first and foremost thing is, once our manual test cases are ready, done, we need to determine the scope of our test automation in the current project or application. Some applications support automation, some application does not support automation. We chose automation in such a way that our application is stable. Our application is stable. So first and foremost point is determining the scope of test automation. Then we need to select a proper tool or a right tool for our automation. We have like two different applications, three applications. One is desktop application, window based web based application, mobile application. Mobile application means native apps or hybrid applications. So we need to select a tool in such a way that our application for all the three. So if our application is desktop, we need to select some tool. If our application is web application, we have some other tools in the market, we need to choose them. For each and every application, we do not have a common tool. We need to select the right tool for our automation. Then once we selected the test automation tool, we need to create a test plan, test design, test strategy for automation. For automation, I'm speaking here automation. Then we need our test environment is ready. Automation, once our test environment is ready, we need to create a test automation framework. Utilizing the test automation framework, reusable components, and then utilities present there, we are going to write the test scripts based on the manual test cases and executing the test cases until it get passed. Then we are analyzing the report. The reporting system also integrated to our framework. These all activities are going by done by SDET only. SDET only. If you, this is the analysis of metrics, analytics of the salary for SDET, a normal test engineer. You can see, so currently I have given in India, this is like same for US also, the market is 3 times of a test engineer. If you observe, a 4 years experience SDET can get 15 lakhs per annum average salary if he is a SDET, but the same 4 years of experience, a test engineer who know manual testing only is getting at up to 5 lakhs only the average salary. So this is a, you can see this metric, this analytics shows that the range of salaries and the more demand for our SDET rather than test engineer. So automation with Python. What is we are going to do now? So first we will go pain points of our manual testing, then advantages of automation testing, why Selenium is more important than other tools, then API testing is required, why Python, not we have some other languages also, then career opportunities. What are the pain points? Why we need to go for automation testing? We know if we go from 20 years before, we have only manual testing. Now everywhere in the each a small project also we are hearing automation, automation, automation everywhere. The reason being is we have some pain points of manual testing. The main pain points are time consuming. See where our automation fits in our current project, that we need to understand. The functional testing we do manually, but the same functional test cases we need to execute as part of our regression. Every time we are performing regression testing, the same test cases we need to execute again and again. If we are doing manually, it is time consuming. To avoid the time consuming, we are performing automation. We are performing automation. And one more pain point is repetitive work, boring work, and tedious. We are doing same work again and again. We will get bored and we will get tedious. Always a tester is required to sit at the laptop or the system to perform the manual testing. And we human beings are sitting at the laptop, and sometimes if we are performing, there will be high risk of our errors will, so we'll get a issue if we miss in the production. We will make defect leakage, we call it as a defect leakage. We'll get some defect leakage into the production. And whenever we are performing manual testing, we need to create manual logs and screenshot. Taking this manual also, it's a taking time process. Then why automation? We need to understand when we are going for SDET, we need to learn the automation tool, language, build tools, and the framework development, CI/CD. If we want to learn first, we need to understand why automation. What is the need of automation? What is the need of automation is the first one is reliable, reliable, repeatable. Second one is the repeatable. It's a comprehensive, better quality software, reusables, programmable, is faster, and cost reduction. First, let me tell you cost reduction. If I give you an example of how we are reducing the cost with automation, consider that in a project, a test engineer is performing manual tasks in 3 days. How many? 10, for example, 5 engineers are doing the work in 3 days. For each every one are spending some time. We need a company or a organization has to pay some amount, right? So for example, they are taking for each day 100 rupees or $100. For 5 members, 500 per day. For 3 days, 1500 per for 3 years. In case, how we are reducing this? In case our automation is there, instead of doing the same task in 3 days, we can perform in less than 1 day, and we can decrease the resources. Instead of 5, we can go for 3 or 2. But other resources, organization, how they utilize for other tasks they utilize. It does not mean that they are removing the resources. They will use in other project related activities. Always it is a cycle. Whenever we are reducing the time, we are reducing the cost. This is the first most is cost reduction and faster. Consider, for example, let me tell you here one example. If I do a machine to perform our task, any machine, for example, let's consider a drilling machine to make a hole. It will take faster, but compared to manual, we are going to utilize our energy, right? So machine do faster. Here also, automation is implemented in our project. We are getting faster deliverables. Automated tools run tests significantly faster than manual process. Better quality software. So if any machine can do tasks perfectly with accuracy, but humans sometimes they will do mistakes, right? So there we are lagging quality. But if we have automation, we are getting better quality software. It is producing the ability to run more tests in less time with reduced team size. It is comprehensive. Why it is comprehensive? It is providing the ability to build a suite of tests we can group, and that covers every feature in our applications. Whatever manually we miss some test cases, but if we are grouping the test cases, preparing the test suits, that is covering all the application part, each and every feature in our application, and repeatable. It is an automation is enabling the capability to test how the software reacts under repeated execution of the same operation. Consider, let me tell you one example here. For example, if we want to execute a login feature with a different set of test data, it is more repeated and boring task. But automation is enabling the capability to test the application based on different input with the same scenario, how our software is reacting under repeated execution of the same operations. Those we are going to do. And automation is reliable. This test perform precisely the same operations each time they run, thereby eliminating the human errors. Reusable. Whatever the automation or components or a framework utilities which we are going to write as part of our automation, we are enabling that we can reuse the same components for different tests, enabling the reusability of test on different versions of an application, even if the user interface changes. Even the user interface changes, it is enabling the reusability. Programmable provides the ability, it is providing the ability to program sophisticated tests that brings our hidden information from the application. Hidden means unexpected results with extreme inputs. These are the advantages of automation, which is making each and every organization, each and every project to go or prefer automation. Then why Python? Basically, Selenium supports Selenium supports multiple languages. So let me show you. I don't have a slide. Let me. Selenium supports multiple languages. First one is Java, C Sharp, Python, JavaScript, Ruby. These are the 5 languages it supports. And also, what is the importance of Selenium? You know, it is open source. What is meant by open source? Open source means free of cost. We should not say free of cost, free cost. Open source. There are applications which are payable. In a if we are if you are working in a project, we need in such a way that what we need to do, we need to reduce the cost of our project. For example, if we are using the paid tools, if we are using paid tool, if for each and every resource we need to use for each and every resource we need to purchase a license. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry. uh, for if we pay for if we go for commercial or pay tool, what we need to consider, pay off cost, how much cost they are taking. For each and every resource we need to pay something, right? We need to pay something amount. But along with the purchasing the tool, if any support is required, we need to consider support cost, right? Those also we need to consider. But here, Selenium more first advantage is it is open source tool. There is no 1 rupee or $1 or any one currency, any 1 rupee. We should not need to pay. We cannot not required to pay any amount. It is open source, free of cost. We can utilize it. It supports multiple. browsers, few tools we have, automation tools. They will support only few browsers, but it support multiple browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Opera, Internet Explorer. This is not present, but it support Internet Explorer. These are there are so many, few more. Safari we have, and also it supports multiple languages. These are the advantages of Selenium. But let me take you Python. Let me take. We have some other tool. As I have mentioned, Playwright is a one tool. Playwright is a one more tool. Here we need to consider if we are getting free of cost open source, the community also more. But here in this case, community is less. But in Selenium, the more advantage is we can perform mobile testing. Here, Playwright is also open source tool, but community is less. It supports. It does not support mobile native app testing. That's why the reason is Selenium. That's why are these are the advantages making Selenium is more useful than other tools. More useful than other tools. We can choose any one language to use it. To use it, Selenium, we need any one language to know. But in this, what why Python? Python compared to other languages, Python takes less time to run the scripts and complete the execution. Java will take some time. It will be lazy. It will take some more time. But compared to Python, it is taking more time. Python is taking less time to run the scripts and complete the execution. Complete the execution. This is the first and foremost important to consider. And Python uses indentations. There is no braces. It is making easy to understand the code flow. But in Java, C Sharp, other languages, we need to follow the syntax, braces, and it is very like it is taking time to understand the code flow. But Python, it is there is no braces are required. It is easy to understand the code flow. And Python is simpler and more compact. It is very simple to write it. And Python is flexible compared to other programming languages. Python use dynamic typing compared to other languages. What does it mean is in other languages, any variable we want to use it, first we need to declare it, the type of the variable. But Python, no, it will automatically take, it will convert by its compiler. So it is supporting dynamic typing. And if we use C Sharp here, we need we need Visual Studio. We need Visual Studio. This is we need to pay for it. We required license. But for Python, no need of Visual Studio. We'll use PyCharm to write our scripts. And also Python, we have so many frameworks. The frameworks it is supporting are PyTest is a framework. It is supporting for unit test and it is having robotic framework. This is mostly important for current industry. Based on the keyword provided by this framework, we are executing our scripts. In other Selenium and other languages, there is no robotic framework. We need to inbuild framework. There is no inbuilt framework. We need to develop our own keyword driven framework. But Python is inbuilt giving robotic framework. That is the more advantage of Python. More advantage of Python. That's why I have seen with my experience, I am saying that organizations are using Selenium with Python. It is where it takes less time to execute the scripts, and it supports multiple framework. It uses dynamic typing compared to other languages. It is flexible compared to other programming languages. It is simple to learn. These all advantages are making to everyone to use Python. And one more thing, if any project is implemented by Python with API, so we can use Selenium with API also. It has given libraries. Any questions? It's time to your question and answer questions, queries.
So let me unmute all of you, and then you can ask your questions one. Just give me a moment. So guys, you can unmute yourself and ask your queries, whatever you have.
You can ask any questions related to SDET and the training. We are happy to answer your questions. If anybody has any hesitations, please ping in chat. Pooja, go ahead.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
First of all, thank you for your presentation. I just have one question. Like you mentioned, with Python Selenium, we have like two frameworks, like PyTest and Robotic Framework. So
Correct.
I just wanted to know, like, which one is better to go with, like front end or web UI testing.
So web UI testing, see, robotic framework, if we use right, it is
Hmm.
providing some keywords. So we
Okay.
need to use that keywords internally. That is a framework. PyTest is providing some annotations for us to
Hmm.
write our scripts.
Okay. So like in the sense, like we can use any. It's not like
Yes,
whichever is
anyone,
are
anyone
required.
which is feasible for your project based on your automation framework architecture. Accordingly, you can
Mhm.
go.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, team? If you are hesitated, please ping. Don't hesitate. You can unmute and ask the question. Else, you can ping in chat. I'm happy to clear your questions. Anyone? Rishika, you want to say something? Anything?
Guys, any question related to course, technical question, non-technical query, anything you want to ask?
Okay. Amdani, yes, go ahead.
I would like to ask, is it possible to build Python Selenium framework, which is BDD, maybe integrated with
Cucumber.
Cucumber or
Yes.
Gikenya?
Here also, yeah. Here also we have behave. Okay. Behave framework. It is there. We can use the behave framework to achieve Cucumber BDD. Cucumber is for Java.
Oh,
C
okay,
sharp
cool.
for C sharp we have spec flow, but here we have behave. JBehave.
JBehave is the one that works with Python.
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. What is the general requirements for SDET positions? Yes. Good question. The general requirement for SDET positions are, so you require the basic knowledge of testing and then testing concepts, methodologies, and also that is not enough. That is easy part too. You can learn it, but the most important thing for SDET is any programming language must and should required, and along with that, automation tool, any automation tool. So if you learn Selenium, you can go for Cypress or Python Playwright. But without understanding Selenium, you cannot go. I have seen so many things, so many resources. Selenium is required. CI/CD tools like Jenkins, Azure DevOps is required. Git is required. Build tools is required, and also BDD is required. So these API testing also required. These all the skills required. Then only you can become SDET. Whatever the content we are going to give is based on your SDET skills, which is matching for you. Any other questions? I hope so. I don't know your name. Yep. Any other questions? You can paste in chat as well.
Okay, no problem. So guys, if you have any query, you can, ask your queries later on also on the emails. And thank you, Offrin, for the wonderful session and the informative session. Thank you, everybody, for joining the session. We have already shared with you the links of our social media pages, our LinkedIn page, YouTube page, and the Facebook. Also, the Telegram group link is also there. So we keep on updating these. We keep on posting the updates on these pages regarding the upcoming webinars, the new blog posts which are coming up on our website. So you can, subscribe our YouTube channel for the webinar recording. Secondly, you can, get the information about the upcoming events and webinars happening in the system. So you can follow our pages on social media, and you'll get the updates. So we keep on conducting these webinars on monthly basis. So guys, please do subscribe to our channel and follow us on our social media pages. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining the webinar. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.